Do you have a problem identifying bad habits? Don't worry, because you're not alone. Many people suffer from ignorance and have no idea how to deal with it. Many people addicted to bad habits, and it's very difficult to give up, and that is why in this video we are going to discuss how you can identify bad habits and form the new ones. Hey, my name is Deepak and you're watching this book summary on Self Help Hub. Without any further delay, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn top 5 lessons from Badass Habits, which is written by Jen Sincero. Alright then, the first lesson is decision making. Making powerful and life changing decisions is a habit that we must master. Mastering the positive mindset that's required to upgrade our habits is all about staying aware of ourselves. It involves shifting our focus when we catch ourselves going down the path of self-pity and negative attitudes. When it comes to building good habits and getting rid of lame ones, our commitment to staying focused on who we are becoming is the mightiest power we have got. It doesn't really matter who we are. If we fail to stay committed to forming good habits, we'll never be able to ditch bad ones. Jen Sincero, the writer of this book, says that our thoughts become our words become our beliefs become our actions become our habits, and our habits become our realities. Habits influence our lives because they are more about who we are than what we do. Focusing on our actions is important, but we sometimes fail to focus emotionally and mentally, which is more significant. This is why when our new habits get challenging or boring, we ditch them for something easier or more fun. Alright then, second lesson is identifying the bad habits. Creating good habits require knowing the key elements involved in identifying the bad habits. The key element required to formulate new habits explain the whole process behind the formation of habits and why it's important to pay attention to them. The first element is the trigger. Every time we form a habit, we automatically create a trigger for it. These triggers are at most time unintentional and we might not even notice them, but they exist. Triggers send signals to our brain that it's time to perform a habit. The second key element is the sequence. We are naturally expert problem solvers. The majority of us multitask, ensuring everything working most efficiently and productively. Repetition is the third key element in habit formation. The brain is full of images and ideas, all growing and tangling around one another as we gather more information throughout life. We go through so many activities every day and they become habits because we have always repeatedly done most of them. Repetition of a new routine will require some mental and physical effort, but will become easier over time. The third lesson is personal boundaries. Personal boundaries are essential to our mental health. Personal boundaries define where we end and where the outside world begins. Having healthy boundaries means owning up to our actions, emotions, and needs. It also means not owning the action, emotions, and needs of others. Personal boundaries mean that we have to put ourselves first. We all have personal boundaries that need to be clearly defined and respected. These particular boundaries go before us. For example, we make a habit of declining invitations. We don't want to accept or confront people who make uncomfortable comments. We create boundaries that earn us more respect. We need to ask for help when we need it and lose the expectations that people will fix our problems for us. If we don't set our clear and healthy boundaries, we become messy, murky, and get easily frustrated with those around us. Fourth step is realization. It's easy to get lost in our bad habits if we fail to realize how negative they are. For us, getting comfortable with our habits, we need 3 things. A list of at least 5 good habits we've always had, a list that shows at least 5 habits we have successfully created for ourselves, and a list indicating at least 5 habit upgrades that we would love to make. These lists give us an idea of how far we have come and how long the journey is. When we commit to change our habits, the conviction to do the right thing will follow. Alright, so the fifth and the last lesson to learn from this book is consistency. Creating a new habit requires consistency and the belief that we can do better. When we write down the habit we are going to work on, it becomes our obsession and it guides us to achieve what we want. A detailed plan will help us focus on these habits and do everything we can to embody them. Once we embrace these habits, they'll be a regular part of who we are. One of the best ways to create a detailed plan is by having a personal mantra. Mantras are phrases we say to describe our current state of mind. We all have mantras, and although they are mostly subconscious, they affect our lives. Some of the mantras we have are lame and negative. We need to ditch the negative mantras in our lives. Always remember, training your brain is all about meaning, simplicity, consistency, and repetition. It's sometimes hard to believe our mantras at first. However, as long as we can feel the thrill that comes with doing it, we'll know we are on the right track. All we have to do is decide to believe it until we are assured that we are good to go. Once we come up with a mantra, we should endeavor to write it down and say it when we need encouragement. Alright, so these were the top 5 learnings from the book Badass Habits. Let me revise the points what we learned today. The first thing you learned is decision making. The second, identifying. The third, making personal boundaries. And the fourth lesson is realization. And the fifth and the last, consistency. And that is it for today. If you want to read whole book, the best buy link is in the description.